see.
You know what's shaking?
What's shaking?
I got a new microphone.
You got a new microphone.
That's what this is right here.
That's beautiful. What is that? A Rode Wireless Go?
Yep. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay. It still smells like, there's like the smell of like new electronics.
I know the smell of new electronics. And actually, I really love the smell of Apple products. I feel like they probably scent their stuff when they put it out. Every time you open an iPhone or a MacBook,
I know, it's like,
it's that distinct smell of like
probably just chemicals. Right? It's just chemicals.
I know, but it's their special chemicals. Okay, speaking of new things, let's talk about buzzwords. Okay. And there's two buzzwords that I've been hearing a lot on Clubhouse. And I feel like you probably have the most authentic and vulnerable distinction between them.
Are those the words?
Those are the words. Authenticity and vulnerability. Everyone uses them. So I want to ask you, what is your definition of authenticity and vulnerability? Your definition. Ooh. And does that differ from the actual definition? And then I want to know what you think that the world sees it as, and then how they connect.
Okay. Well, I might need a minute to Google the answer. Okay. Just a minute. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Let's start with what it means to be authentic. So I don't know.
Are you Googling? Do you have notes?
Yeah, no, I just realized I didn't start my timer. Should we start over?
I got a timer going. Let's keep rolling.
We're not supposed to tell everybody we time these.
Okay.
Hey, we're being authentic.
Yeah, we are.
That is authenticity. We just demonstrated authenticity. So, okay, I'll just keep going. Authenticity. So I believe that authenticity is about knowing who you are, who your whole self is, and being okay with not necessarily being the smartest person in the room, and being somebody that people expect you to be. And when I say that, you've maybe heard me tell this story, but when I was first starting the business I have now, and I was going to meet with somebody in my local community in person to talk about whether or not they should franchise their business, I was leaving my house wearing my uniform, my pleather pants, and my mom happened to be visiting at the time. And she was like, "What? Like, where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going to a meeting." She's like, "I don't know." Okay, this microphone is bugging me. I don't know if you should be wearing that to a meeting. I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I was kind of, okay, you're right. So I wouldn't change to put on like just basic black pants. But then I was like, soon after, like within, I don't know, period of time, months, whatever, I was like, wait a minute, why am I dressing differently than who I am? Like, yes, you have to dress professional. Like, I got to be professional, but I want to work with people that are more like me than if I were to like put on the stuffy, like shoulder pad suit with the pencil skirts and the pumps and the nylons and all that. That's not me. And so if I start dressing differently, then I'm not being myself. So I guess authenticity to me is being yourself and being okay with being yourself and letting people see that side of you. So I'll pause there. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's an important distinction, because knowing your own values and your own purpose and who you are is more of like a self-realization thing. And you could be authentic to yourself. But I think in the world, as we know it, when people refer to authenticity, it's to the outside world. So being able to say what's on your mind, to convey your thoughts and who you are and that sort of thing, and not be confined by various parameters of a company you work for or a social construct or whatever it is. It's being yourself and expressing that.
And you're bringing up a good point, though, that like that doesn't give you permission to be rude to people and be, well, like, that's just who I am, right? Like,
yeah. So sometimes people, I think, use authenticity as a cover up or a safeguard for, a broken down. Is that the right word? I don't know. We're getting so linguistic here, but they use it as an excuse to be maybe very aggressive or maybe vulgar in the way they speak, and they're like, that's just me.
Yeah. And that's not it. And, I will say with the videos that I've been making for a bunch of years now, from my car. People would say, I get a lot of messages like, I really like your videos, or, just really like your content. I'm like, what do you like? Thank you very much. Thank you. What is it that you like about it? Because whatever it is, I'll keep doing. And I hear a lot, people are like, I just like that you're authentic. And I think what they mean is that I'm not afraid to say, I'm not afraid to, like, we didn't start this recording over, like it's being real and not pretending you're someone that you're not. Meanwhile, I don't know if it's showing on our screen right now. Meanwhile, I've got a picture of a fish that's pretending to be a shark, but in my office, but that's another story. But
so that now dovetails into vulnerability, because sometimes people will say authenticity versus vulnerability as though they're two different things or two opposites, but they're actually very unique and they're related. So what does vulnerability mean to you?
Yeah, well, definitely, I think they go hand in hand. I think that vulnerability is being okay with not knowing all the answers, or it's okay to admit that you're a little scared. Like, during any crisis, I'll say it's okay, in my opinion, for a leader to show vulnerability, to show that I don't have the answers, but I'm confident that we're going to figure it out. That was sort of an example of vulnerability, I guess. So it's, I think what you're getting to, there's probably a deeper thing that you're trying to say here is, when you're saying that you don't have the answers, you're actually exposing yourself to attack on something personal to you. You don't know that information. You may feel inferior, or it may expose the opportunity for somebody to attack you personally. That's vulnerability. It's putting yourself on the line.
Yeah.
And you do it because of a cause or some impact you want to make. Like with my team, I'm not afraid to show vulnerability because I know that it will make a strong impact. And I know that it will give them permission. I know it will give my team permission to also show vulnerability, and that it's okay if you're scared sometimes. It's okay to admit that. Let's just work on it. Let's figure it out together then. Like, everything is figure outable. We'll figure it out. But like I have the confidence we'll figure it out. And that's different than being weak, or insecure about something. It's not about that. It's about showing that, I don't know everything, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
because I believe in myself.
Yes, because you believe in yourself. And the way they go hand in hand is when you are authentic and expose your true values and your purpose, or whatever it might be, who you are, they may be considered points of weakness. Maybe not. Maybe they're full-on strict powerhouses, which make you vulnerable then.
Well, being authentic, I think, requires you to be vulnerable sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when I put myself out there in my car and say some I'm being authentic, I'm being myself, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay if people want to attack me. And I do get people, I have had people email or message me and say, your videos are great, but you say I'm a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you. Like, I appreciate it, and I'll work on that, but I'm not going to stop doing it.
Yeah. So from an authentic standpoint, I'm sitting in an office with these awesome photos behind me and microphones and all that sort of stuff. But I'm telling you that I'm overheating. There's a trouble with the HVAC here, and that may not be something I should say. And the vulnerable part of me is like, I actually took my pants off, so I have no pants on right now.
I don't know if that's vulnerable or authentic, or you're just being a little crazy.
It's just so hot in here. Oh my God.
Just don't stand up.
Okay.
Yeah. That is really funny. All right. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think impact, we're putting ourselves on the line for impact, and we make so much more impact when we are vulnerable and authentic than if we just walk around like dictatorial or, just strong arming people into things.
Yeah.
It's more relatable, right? So
yeah, there's a difference between authenticity and vulnerability. They are related, but they're almost misused, in my opinion, in today's society as buzzwords and not as what they're actually meant to be. So let's wrap this up.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Go be awesome.
That was like slow motion at the end.